Alright guys, so the fragment fusion is live. I have the calendar for you guys. We're going to compare it to the previous one, Iron Brago. Couple of things to watch out for, so tips and tricks along the way. Also, you guys have probably seen a lot of build videos already. That is because we have access to the test server. I have one more build that I would like to show you guys, so let's jump right in. We're going to start straight with the calendar, basically almost the same as the previous one. Iron Brago was very similar aside from the fact that they added 2 days, I believe, to this one, unless it really just depends on the time zone you are in. As for the points, very standard now. We do not have a lot of wiggle room to get all the fragments we need. It basically comes down to the Summon Rush or the Champion Chase Tournament, or a mix of both, obviously, and then the Champion Training Event and the Champion Training Tournament. So what I have for you guys is a couple screenshots of the previous one, so we're going to go over those values real quick. When we look at the Summon Rush, we had a fluke for Iron Brago. The first 5 fragments at 50 points, that is not typically there, right? So we're going to have 330 points, 1,070, and then 3,000. This is usually really hard to do, and for most of us, we end up skipping it. At least that's how I do it, so that is what I put in my own plan, or the free-to-play plan. Then for the Champion Chase Tournament, the reason why this is easier, it is because you can stock up fusions. You can stock up Broadma fusions, right? Maybe you have Relic Keeper that you can do. So I'm going to say that overall this is easier. I tend to always get to the 1,500 points for the Champion Chase Tournament. I suggest you do somewhat the same thing. And then we have the Champion Training Event and Tournament. So the problem with the event is that 10,000 points for 10 fragments is good, but this is a lot of points. I tend to believe that the Champion Training Tournament is a little bit easier at about 6,200 points, right? So I will prioritize this for 15 fragments over the Champion Training Tournament for 20 fragments. All right, so that is how I choose to do it. Again, entirely up to you guys on how you want to go about. So here is basically my plan, which is this column right here. I will be going for the 2 accessible milestone rewards of 5 fragments for the Summon Rush. I will be pushing for 15 fragments in the Champion Chase Tournament, and then I will probably be pushing a little bit more in the Champion Training Tournament, than I will be pushing in the Champion Training Event. You don't have to do it this way. This is just a possibility. I also assume that you have to do both of the Artifact Enhancement events, Dungeon Divers events, both of them. The second one has 2 milestone reward points, so be cautious on that. It's going to be a lot more points to get the last 5 fragments. Classic Arena takedowns, pretty easy to do. All the dungeons, relatively easy to do. The points will be probably between about 1,300 to 1,800 points total. Should be doable. And then the Champion Training Tournament. So the free-to-play approach is basically almost the same thing here. So what I'm saying is that you go for the first 2 milestones of the Summon Rush, all the Artifact Enhancement, all Dungeon Divers, Champion Training Event. You might decide to push on this one instead because it's at the end of the event itself. It is overlapping with the Spider Tournament, so be careful. And then for the rest here, Champion Chase Tournament, same thing. I'm saying the first 2 milestone rewards and all the rest, right? But we are going to skip basically the Champion Training Tournament on this approach, so you can kind of see the difference here, right? Pushing on Champion Training Event versus Training Tournament. So that is how I am going to complete this fusion. I strongly suggest you do as well because of his passive, which is actually a way for you to cut in against other enemy teams in the arena. So if an enemy arbiter goes first, increase attack speed buff, this is going to trigger the turn meter boost from his passive. He's going to take a turn. If this is fully booked, 100% chance of placing AoE True Fear. So as long as you have enough accuracy, because it's not a hit, it will always work. I think that's pretty neat. So for the short clip that I'm going to show you guys, I built him like this in immunity. Of course, you need a lot of accuracy for this to work. High resistance is useful, but if you face a really high accuracy Manum Ceres, you're still going to get stripped. So it's not necessarily perfect the way it is right now, but this is all I could afford to do on the test server. All right, so we have a lot of speed, even more speed, speed boots, HP percent chest piece, this could be resistance. Most likely accuracy here would be even better. And for the gloves, could be HP percent, defense percent. I only had crit rate just lying there. Then we've got defense, and we have an attack banner. Again, this should be accuracy. So obviously you want very high accuracy for this to work. The masteries have not changed since this morning's video. So this is how I am thinking Yoshi is going to be used in endgame arena or tag arena. Let's go check the clip where we can see this in action. They buff up first, increase attack. It triggered the passive from Yoshi. I get to take a turn, AoE True Fear. Then I go into my own Arbiter. Remember, Yoshi was slower than my own Arbiter. I also brought in Harvest Jack to follow up with his A2, so I removed the increased attack buffs, and then I also placed a block buffs on the enemy team. But then their Madam Ceres had an immunity set as well, so well played. This prevented me from following up perfectly into my own nuker. So the fight does drag on a little bit, but overall we do end up winning. But you can kind of see what I mean here. Players might not expect this, right? So much like the Molly or the Valkyrie, Yoshi here can allow you to sometimes counter enemy speed teams, especially useful if, let's say, you don't have a Torment. So there you have it, guys. One of the main reasons why I would say go for Yoshi. I think he's great. He can do Sorat, Hard Doom Tower level 120. He's going to be in your faction crib. He can do some dungeons. He can do it all. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.